right.
Did I hit the button?
No, you don't have to hit a button, Governor. You should just
Why is
turn
my
the chief on.
Is my mic muted? I think it's muted.
I think it just doesn't like you, mate.
He's saying I'm soft-voiced.
You can't cancel me. I am uncancelicable.
What's Will Smith's wife's name?
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada freaking Smith.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Okay, you got a fact?
Yeah, apparently these two people who've never had children are trying to tell me what babies are like. All right. Welcome back to Random Facts Without Josh.
And myself.
It's true. What's your fact?
Did you know that Will Smith's wife and Chris Rock were in the Madagascar movies together?
Gloria! She married a giraffe.
Yeah.
Chris Rock was the zebra. He was a zebra. Here's a random fact. Australia is wider than the moon.
I knew that.
Well, now you know it again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This was Random Facts Without Josh, because there is no Josh.
But there's myself.
The time has come for bad dad jokes. David, have you ever heard of a dogwood tree?
No.
You know how you can tell it's a dogwood tree?
No.
By its bark. Woof.
You know, Ryan, I'm really worried about the calendar. Its days are numbered.
Thought you were going to say something about how it's always got a new date. That's a clear sign. You know how there's a place on your driver's license where you can fill out if you're going to be an organ donor, right? Mm-hmm. Did you know that to be an organ donor, it really takes guts?
What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common?
I have no idea.
They're both parasites.
Yep. I was about to tell you a time-traveling joke, but you didn't get it. So, David, I recently went to the doctor because I've been hearing this buzzing in my ear, and he looked at me and he said, it's just a bug going around.
It is springtime, so they are on their way back.
Yeah, I've had to kill 2 today. That's a lie. I only killed 1. I wanted to sound like a big man.
What did the ocean say to the beach?
What?
Nothing, it just waved.
That is correct. Random facts with not Josh.
Hey guys, we're gonna do the Kit Kat toss.
Yep.
You haven't broken, right?
Yeah, I have them broken.
2, 1. Yes. No, it missed.
I thought you were supposed to have chocolate because you're.
I wasn't supposed to,
Well, that's
but
too
this
bad.
is a challenge.
True.
And I win, so I'm gonna do it.
Hey guys, welcome to Songs We Made Up on the Spot, where me and Mike make a song up on the spot. This week's theme is going to be
Potatoes.
potatoes and luchadors.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And the lights, they came down on the luchador in the ring. And he held up a sack of potatoes. And he yelled, I will mash you. And he did, and they were delicious.
Yeah, I'll circle back to you on that. Next question.
Yes, Mrs. Politician.
Wait. Before we go any further, I need to introduce this Lord Farquaad, our sign language. Next question, please.
Yes, Mrs. Politician, what do you say about the lowering levels of cream soda in Cambodia?
You see, the thing is, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about continuing to discuss and adjust the surrounding contradiction of the problem. But that is a much bigger topic that I do not want to cover today. Next question, please.
Yes, Mrs. Politician, recent statistics have shown that less than 30% of the people in Africa do not have either an Xbox or a PlayStation of any sort. What would you and your party do to fix this crisis?
That's a very good question. Updates are coming in, but they're not being made public yet. So, yeah. But, I mean, Xbox, you can play Minecraft and Donkey Kong, and so that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you, Mrs. Politician. And our last question of the day, there's plenty of speculation that Greenland is planning to bomb Madagascar. What does your government have planned if all of a sudden a fight would break out between your ally Greenland and Madagascar?
That is also an excellent question. I don't know how deep I want to dive into that, but I will say that the cotton candy prices of the North Pole are rising steadily, and it's becoming very hard for polar bears to afford, sustenance up there. But we have determined that we do not need to make a determination on that, so there's nothing left to determine. I'll circle back to you on that.
Hey guys, welcome to the conversation piece. This week we're going to be building off a little bit of what we talked about this Friday, where we talked about the idea of pruning and God taking things out of our lives to help us grow more and to produce more fruit of love and joy and peace. And to quote Andy Bernard, the great Nard dog, addition by subtraction. So guys, what do you think? Is it possible for God to make our lives better by taking things away?
Absolutely. I think a lot of times when friendships die, especially when you're young, oftentimes it's like super heartbreaking and just really hard to get through. But when you look back when you're older, a lot of those friendships weren't super healthy. Mm-hmm. And so if you think about it, a lot of that is just God removing toxic people from your life. And that gives you more space to grow mentally and spiritually. And yeah, it just leads
Absolutely.
to a lot more opportunities.
And I don't think we want to diminish the idea that sometimes loss hurts. Loss can suck a whole bunch, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to produce something good on the tail end of it.
I think friends who don't intentionally to harm you in any way, like hurting your feelings or just being a bad influence, they obviously don't mean to do that, but God has a way of getting those people out of your life. And at first, you might think, well, these people who I thought were fantastic for me, they actually weren't. It hurts to come to that belief, because it takes a while to essentially lose a friend. It takes a while to get over that.
Yeah, and you have to heal from it too.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing can be said for missed opportunities, or not missed opportunities, but I think a lot of times as humans we try to plan things out ourselves, and then when things don't go that way, it's sometimes looked at as like a failure, and other times just like, why did this not work out? Because it would have worked out so good if everything had lined up. But then sometimes way better opportunities come out of those said missed opportunities.
Like how we have you as youth leader because you couldn't play hockey this year?
That's exactly right.
It's a win for us. And a win for you, too.
No, hey, you know what?
I think, it can go beyond friendships. It can go beyond opportunities. Sometimes there's even jobs that people lose out on because God has something better in store for us. The tough thing often, though, is is working through that tension of, when something is pruned, that doesn't necessarily mean immediately things are better on the other side. There is that process. There's a regrowth that has to happen. And sometimes we get so used to the idea of, well, I gave up this thing, so that means everything should be better now. But regrowth is wildly important, and embracing the process is key.
It's true. It's sometimes easy to forget that, God does have a plan, Sometimes when things don't go your way because it seems like you knew the plan, and then, plans change, not for God, but for our perspective, and we don't recognize it. And then going through that, we need to not lose sight of the fact that it does happen for a reason, and
Absolutely.
there is more good coming out of it.
100%. I think something else to look at in this area is the idea of we're all humans and we're all broken, and there's aspects to our character that may need to be pruned out. There's certain times where there's just attitudes that we have or personality traits or whatever it is that aren't conducive to good relationships, to healthy connections, to even just following God well. And so there's times where this pruning is external, but there's also times where it's internal. There's very specific things we need to deal with in our lives.
I can't remember the exact wording of it, but somewhere in John 15, it's talking about how he says, I am the vine and you are the branches, and how he'll, like you said, prune the right branches out of your life, but the right ones, he will enable them to grow. And so I think part of that is also recognizing what areas of your life are worth pursuing and putting more effort into growing, and which ones are kind of just wants and non-essential, if that kind of makes sense.
100%. Do you have any thoughts on that, Mike? I agree. Hey guys, welcome to this week's challenge. We are doing a bit of a twist on a drawing challenge. One of our leaders is going to have to describe those pictures to our 3 drawers, but they're not allowed to use words like circle or square or any descriptive words like, hey, draw a star. They can't use those types of words. They have to try to explain the picture without using descriptive shape words. And here we go. All right, drawers, are you ready? The person who draws the most accurate to the picture I have in front of me will win points. 2/3 of the way up, draw a line that goes up, away, down, to right below the line that you just drew, but it is no jagged edges. All the edges are smooth. Once you've done that, go back to your original point and do the same thing, but go the other direction. In the middle of the shape you drew, go about 1 inch to your left and draw an inch-long line that goes up and down. Go back to the middle and then go 1 inch to the right and draw an inch-long line that goes up and down. The line that you just drew, go to the center of it. And then you're going to make a straight line to the right. Go to the first line that you drew and then draw a line to the left, about 4 inches long. At the very end of that line, draw a line going up at a 45-degree angle, and then from that starting point, draw a line that goes down at a 45-degree angle. Move over 1/2 inch or 1/2 finger length, and then repeat the same shape you just drew. Go back to the opposite side where you drew the first horizontal line away from your vertical line, and you're going to draw from the point there a small line that goes 45-degree angle to the left. From the 2 points where you just ended, draw maybe like a 30-degree angle until those 2 lines would connect. Where you just recently drew a 45-degree up to the left, you're going to draw a 30-degree down. Okay, so that is the end of the drawing. This is drawing number 1. So what I want you guys to do now is show us your pictures.
Look at the big lays hanging over the railing. Okay, what about these circles that you said? Like, start with a circle. Where's the circle?
Who gets points on that, Mike? Okay. Nice. Next picture, guys. You can hold on to that forever, Libby. Save it. Let it remind you of better times. At about 2/3 of the way up from center, you're going to draw a line. Don't draw this yet. Draw a line that goes to your left, arching, then south arching, then the other way arching, then back up arching until it reconnects with itself. No straight lines, all curved. One long curved line that leaves and then returns to itself. But that round is worth 2 points because the picture was slightly harder. And so Heidi gets the win, and everybody else is the worst. Thanks, guys. So this week's challenge winner is Heidi because the last picture is worth 2 points. Alex had 1 point, and Libby had hopes and dreams. So thank you guys for watching Spark Conversations. We'll see you next time.
What do you call a factory that makes okay products?
IKEA.
Is satisfactory.
Ooh, a satisfactory. Unfortunately, I think we've told that joke before, but that's okay. They can come back.
No, they won't know.
So-
Nobody watches the segment.
Fast forward. We can say whatever we want. People will just be like, it doesn't even matter. Just do it, guys. There's a part on your driver's license where you can fill in to be an organ donor.
An organ donor.
The words are hard. Okay. Hey, David.
I donate my organs.
Donate my organs. All right.
You can do this. I believe in you.
All right. So, David, you know that there's a place on your driver's license where you can put down if you're going to be an organ donor. Cam.
Okay, that was so good.
Welcome to Songs Made Up on the Spot, and we're going to sing these songs like a WWE wrestler trying to announce something real intense. Or maybe just somebody from the South. All right, quiet on set, guys. We got to do the most beautiful song you've ever heard.
Are you leaving, David? Somewhere in Spanish. You know the country of Spanish?